Just as that moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threateningly shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst.
Coco, the spork monster, is here to fight a hero.
Is anyone else feeling a bit of deja vu? I'm sorry, Goko, but I've sworn we wouldn't battle you last night.
That was Borko, my chin. And I, Gorko, am here to avenge him.
Are you stronger than Borko?
Well, we're twins, so... Not really, no. We're pretty much exactly equal in every way, why do you ask?
Colonel Sanders smirks. He's already on the same page as you. I mean, it's just that we beat Borko's pretty easy, so I don't think it'd be much of a chance. Not to mention, I feel really guilty about that. If I could take it back, I would. I think what Grax is trying to say is, can't we just be friends? Life's too short to make enemies.
I suppose. We really don't need to fight. It's just I've got these pointy teeth and claws.
All the better for enjoying tasty food. Sure you like to eat, don't we all?
Of course I do.
Inspiration strikes you, you come up with a quick idea. Chomp on this. You toss it's a roll into Gorko's open mouth and he disavows in one gulp.
Delicious. You're much nicer than the evil students who once upon a time turned me into this creature who stands here but today.
I don't believe it. You were a human once?
Well, no. I was a chinchilla. But I was still a student at the school until one day some mean case of a magic spellbook cast a dark enhancement on me, and I was forever transformed.
A magic spellbook?
Precisely. Borko used to have a copy, but somewhere along the way I lost it. If you find such a book, I beg you, respect it. You're a powerful chef and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear. I will be there.
It sounds like there are some bad cooks in this kitchen of life. Grax, together I'm sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hardware as we can discuss. A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel's home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by these things, you start to feel a special bond with him. Huh. Well, he looks like you've got such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side disc I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel's eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to be paired with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps. Now you got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret just for you? I trust this man. He'll decide you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in headfirst. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway.
Fire chicken!
Magnificent! Ugh. That doesn't sound like something I would do. I would never chow down on coleslaw. I don't think there's no spoil. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I like to have it around so I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the rooms of various items that we could looked at, each item seems to resonate to our memories. Tap on an item. Let's take a look at that. An adorable little baby girl, Christopher goatee, blah blah blah. Okay. Who frames a baby picture as just themselves? Hey, I've done that! The same kind of person who would make their own face of the logo of the company founders, am I right? Let's try that out. This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think that from what number is important? Then dawns on you. She needs to turn the dial to 11, 11, 11. Safe opens the phone seal on the note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? Tap on an item before first right panel. Let's try that one. You gaze out of the window across the last lake and mountain range beyond. Just then a ghost pops up. Yeah. Are you thinking about heading into the world quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I don't even know your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. Can't you see me in the middle of something? You open the window and crack, and the ghost of studio swept away with a breeze. Tap on an item. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. It's probably a chicken. Power tool? Frenchy start collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of 69? Ah, witty. No, it's one of his kind of secret ingredients. It's vagina. Oh, no, wait, it's not vagina. It's longer. Multiple vaginas. Wait a second. What's this? You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suit hanging within. You take off the hangers and try it on. The jacket's a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug and breathe in the scent. They say it's home where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Ah! Before you can talk any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on. He wants you to taste it. You try and act casual until you ask why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say, it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket. You've got to take it off. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I was just a little cold, and I thought this might warm me up. Colonel Sanders smiles and scoots to the fireplace. It's warm by the fire. Why don't you come a little closer? Suddenly, everything feels like it's moving too fast. Final exams for tomorrow. You should be thinking about what you're going to cook. I should be home studying. Overwhelmed, you took off the jacket and ran to the door. No! But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Grax? I honestly think this might be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence! Zzz. You awake to a beautiful kind of scene and highway. Did you make the right decision how to respond to Colonel? Only time will truly tell. Today is the day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learnt about. Multiple vaginas. In some jurisdictions, multiple vaginas isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how do they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when the Colonel emerges in the room. He's holding a gorgeous plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up.
Chicken! Buy a chicken!
It's meltalicious. You taste Colonel Canon's food and it gives you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting for you to ask an important question. Would you and me like to do a bit of that? Stuffing mashed potatoes and chickens, that's what I mean. So, would you say we're the perfect match? Ooh, how presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Oh, such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? I'm going to flatter him. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eyes as he gazes out into the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? Oh, it's happening so quickly. Overcome with emotions and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can think is to run out the door and go home. It's still almost day of school after all. The University of Cooking School's Academy for Learning waits for no one. And so close to the end, you get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is still waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed with the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered with Clank, he's asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him, you better keep your dials into polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure. I'd get to know this little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Wait, did she just say skydiving as if that's a typical first date to go out on a talking pressure cooker? I'm not sure where we really stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connections. Wowzers. I would never say wowzers. Maybe it tells you to move on this whole concept. Yep. If being obsessed with the Colonel Sanders is wrong, I don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. Oh, I've lost a friend. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance they're picking up on Pops, though he himself might not grasp the fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dipped too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school. There's this horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You got some nerve, Grax, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. But now you're just twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixes accidentally makes you rinse with pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives and just appears as close to boiling over. A natural, intuitive person, he senses that something's been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school, Grax? How's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Hopefully in the next 10 minutes. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail whilst masturbating. Winning so hard. Technically, I don't think a winner. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What was he doing complimenting her? What about the flavors? But what about the flavors of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate brown sauce? And I'm talking about poo. Well, it was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That was a lot of words to say. It was bland. Excuse me, Grax. I'm more than capable enough of speaking for myself. Oh. Maybe you could tell me about your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel? I'm more interested in discussing the fine arts of fine food. See her inside, Grax. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for, you know, she really is. You walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slight you feel about the interacting with that, you take out that spellbook you recovered. You start flicking through the pages. Whoa, is that book? That's that book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. I wouldn't be spending so much time decorating a magic book if it wasn't really powerful. I can think of surefire one. You open to a page covered with an arcane warning. Cast only in a case of extreme emergency. It says around the edge of case. Well, this is kind of emergency. I could use a spell here that says it will erase anyone I could choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus on the upcoming final exams. That is way drastic. Could you do something else, like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe a tie string around your finger? Okay, it is just drastic. But desperate time calls for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and pretty good excuse to try it out. No! You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. If I was doing this for like a long period of time, I would probably go down the other route. Maybe the next time I play it. Sprinkles is already in the room, ready for the students to arrive. His clear voice is making a quick announcement. I feel something of a dark moment coming on, but I assure you nothing to be afraid of. Woof. He's cute, guys. Breathe in. Let's give him some snacks. You reach into your back pocket to grab some hubbub from last night's message you've got to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes in and gobbles the sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken right whole. I apologise for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much in this world satisfied like an upgraded work. My Grax, were you studying something with cinnamon? I have been sitting in a lecture series about the art of cake baking. How insightful. That actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Grax, for reminding me how to dial out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, But before we go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into class. Sprinkles is for interrupt blah blah blah. I told you to save it for after class. You think I want to be thrown from a plane, strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be having an argument, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to show off your cool kid friends and Jeff and Joan, JJ forever. Watch us from a triangle in mid-air as we descend. Triangles are the strongest rope, don't you know? Bzz, bzz. Yeah, well, that doesn't make a great date. Bzz, and then take Jeff and John with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain off a cliff for all I care. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gap in his panel, and then a loud ding stops him in his track. Bzz, bzz, bzz. No amount of seasoning is going to get me to want to eat that, Clank. Ugh. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Trainer, it's a trainer. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see the entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud puppet breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown begins. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches, so you're at the arena. But before you can think of the upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in front of the class like that in front of everyone? Hot tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say this out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through the final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the winds rushing through her short bangs fringe, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not gonna settle up on Colonel Sanders standing and ride off in the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us, whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank, or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I really need to review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. And I bet the Professor Dog is going to love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch. But that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You decided to go head to the arena to practice a dish.